welcome to part 20 of my Tevo Black Widow mods videos. The end stops have finally arrived, as you can see, and today we will finally install these, test these, and hopefully run the duet Wi-Fi and see how the printer performs. So yeah, let's just unbox these, and I also want to show you a few things. So here they are, and as you can see the other end is terminated into just bare wires instead of connectors, so I'm going to have to solder these, but anyway, that's not the point that I want to show. The problem that I want to show you is that fact that these look quite a bit different, and I'm pretty sure either the stock ones or the new ones are fake. And yeah, the thing that makes me think that is the fact that the newer ones are a bit more matte. But yeah, here they are close up compared to the stock one. The stock one is the one with the screw going through it, and the newer ones don't have the screw yet, so you can differentiate between the two ones using that. But as you can see in this picture, the stock one is a bit brighter and more shiny, and if you look here, you can see the top surface where the actual detection happens looks very different on the ones that I received as well. And finally, here's just a side shot comparing the how shiny and matte these look. So yeah, it's at this point pretty obvious to me, either the ones on the Black Widow or the ones that I received are fake, counterfeit. But anyway, as long as they work, I'm not going to complain too much, and I don't want to wait and order new ones either anyway. So yeah, I'm just going to install these, and to do that, since these don't have any connectors in them, I'm going to use these terminals. I tried using some Molex KK plugs or PC fan plugs if you prefer the computer versions of the plugs, but the wires in these sensors are too thin and they didn't attach, so I had to use these ugly terminals. But anyway, I installed one of them on the y-axis here, and to save time I'm not going to show them working, but it's working fine, meaning that I can install the one on the x-axis, and then we can move on to actually testing the duet Wi-Fi. But one more thing that I noticed that I want to mention with the newer ones is they don't have any LEDs in them. If you remember, the stock ones had an amber LED in them, so this makes me think that the stock ones were genuine and these ones are fake. But anyway, I don't really care, these work, so let's move on. Now I need to configure the firmware for the duet Wi-Fi, but honestly I don't really know what I can show you for that progress, so I'm just going to cut through that. But yeah, there is an online configuration wizard that I used for this process, and then I also went in there and modified a few more things for the BLTouch and the motor settings, etc. There I did quite a few changes over what that online configurator came out with, but still I mainly use that. So yeah, I don't know what else I can cover with that process, so I'm just going to move on. I have now connected nearly all of the wires with the exception of the camera and the heat pad heater. Other than that, everything is wired. So let's turn this on. So as you can see, other than the BLTouch's alarm, which I'm going to ignore for now, everything seems to work. And if we come to the computer here, you'll notice that once I connect, there we go, a lot of the functionality is working. The voltage detection, for example, works fine. The PT100 sensor is reading it properly, but there is the problem with the heatpad sensor, which I need to figure out. And I've also tested the end stops. It will be hard for me to demonstrate, so I'm not going to show it, but as I said, they work. And the x-axis and the y-axis work fine. There is a problem with the z-axis. Either that motor isn't going to work, or maybe I need to turn the VREF on that higher somehow. I don't know how that's done, if it's automatic or if there's something that I can do. I'll need to try to figure that out, and if that motor doesn't work, I'm going to swap it with the older motor. I haven't tested the motor on the extruder yet, I will get to that later. I also haven't tested the heater here. Again, I will get to that either. But first thing that I want to figure out is the thermistor inside the heat pad. So I need to figure out why that thing is reporting 2000 degrees Celsius. And then I also need to figure out the Z, and then I'll get to those. So yeah, there's still a lot of work to do, but hopefully I will be able to get this working in this video and show it to you. Both of those turned out to be very simple fixes. I had a bug in the firmware for the heater and I fixed that and basically solved the 2000 degree thing. And turning the current up for the Z motor is very simple as well. It's just a command, so I did both of those and they work fine. Now I was about to test the extruder's motor by heating the heater first because the software doesn't allow me to test it otherwise, but I had a problem, and that is this coupling which sits between the flexible shaft of the flex 3 drive extruder and the motor. The part that attaches to the motor has 4 potential grub screw holes in it that are 3mm obviously for M3 grub screws, but all the threads in them are gone. There is plastic obviously, they just self-threaded over time, and yeah, they got loose and it doesn't attach anymore. Yeah, drilling a bigger hole didn't work either, unfortunately. I tried that, and I don't have any threaded brass inserts, otherwise I would try those as well, but yeah, I don't have those and I don't want to wait any time. I just want to get this thing working, so I figured out a temporary solution, and that is using this coupling that I have lying around, which is for normally lead screws. And as you can see, even though the one of the sides is fine for the motor's motor shaft, the other side is way larger than the other coupling, because the other side is for a 8mm lead screw instead of that very thin flexible shaft. But I figured out a solution, and that involves using these terminals that you use normally for wiring inside your house or whatever else. I just grabbed one of these that's an appropriate size, and these have a brass insert on them, as you might know. So I just shaved a lot of that plastic to make it like a semi-sphere shape, which is about 8mm thick. I jammed it inside the lead screw part of the new coupling, and then used the brass insert to couple it to the flexible shaft, and then mounted the motor here, as you can see. And yeah, this isn't the most elegant solution obviously, but I just need something that's temporary that will get me working, and once I am able to print with this 3D printer, I will reprint the old coupling and replace it with that again, so it's not going to be an issue for the long run as long as this works. I actually finally run it with the new part. You can see from the lighting, but it's there. And as you can see, the extrusion now works just fine. I had to reverse the direction of this motor, but that's not really important. And the current that it's receiving seems to be fine, though that will be fully tested once I actually do a test print with it. So hopefully that temporary horrible fix lasts me a few test prints and reprinting the coupling again. And after that I'm going to, as I said, replace the coupling. But one thing that I want to show you is, which is the reason that I'm recording on this microphone right now, is as you can see the fan noise increased terribly. I used to have them controlled through just a buck converter and reduce their voltage to control their speed. But right now, as you can remember from the control box videos, I actually wired the fans to the duet Wi-Fi, and that has PWM control, so it made this machine quite a bit louder. So yeah, the good thing is, once I close that, it's not audible, and if I close this too, you can't really hear anything, which is good. So yeah, I'm going to test the Octoprint now, and once I have something to show you, then I'll come back to you, and hopefully we will also do a few test prints today, and yeah, we'll see where we go from there. So it's now time to test the BLTouch, and unfortunately I have some bad news, but I just want to demonstrate it instead of talking about it, so I'm just going to issue the test command to the BLTouch right now, and it was supposed to deploy the probe, it didn't, and this is just very inconsistent, so I'm going to release the alarm and then just play with it a little bit, issue the same command. This time, as you can see, it's deploying, but I'm watching the end stop through the screen right now, and it's not actually triggering, meaning that the Z probe isn't working properly, even when it's working right now. And I checked the wiring, etc. Everything is fine. And anyway, after, I don't know how long it will take this time, but after a while it will again give me an alarm. And yeah, this is the longest that I've seen actually this thing work. It just gives me an alarm constantly. So yeah, there is a big problem with the BLTouch, and I don't think I'm going to be able to fix this. And yeah, there it is, it gave me the alarm. So yeah, I need to replace this. So yeah, good thing I looked into it in the last Black Widow progress update video, and I did end up ordering an end stop, which I'll get to the details right now. But as I said in that video, the plan was to make this work, at least temporarily, but it looks like that's not going to happen. I just wanted to clarify one thing, and that is, I'm not complaining about the alarm too much. I can live with that, or it's not measuring too accurately. Again, I can live with that for a bit as well, as long as it gets this wet Wi-Fi working. But the problem that I have is the fact that even when the probe is deployed, it doesn't change the end stop hit situation. And you might also notice that from that video you see a second ago as well. The light, as you can see in there, it doesn't turn off whenever the probe is down, and it doesn't change when it goes up and down. And I can also see that from the screen as well. The end stop hit situation doesn't change, and as I said, I checked the wiring and everything else as well. There is something wrong with it, and yeah, I think the BLTouch is faulty at this point. So yeah, that's why I need to replace it. So as a replacement for the BLTouch, I decided to go with Precision Piezo's Orion kit, which uses piezo transducer discs inside the probe and then uses the actual hot end nozzle as the probe itself, and then basically detects it whenever the nozzle touches the bed. This has quite a few advantages, and I'm just going to cover them as short summary here. But the biggest advantage is it has no X offset, Y offset, Z offset, anything. It's right at the nozzle, obviously, so there's nothing to do with that. And also, supposedly this thing is very accurate. We'll see about that once we actually test this, but yeah, they claim it's very accurate, and wet Wi-Fi people claim it's very accurate as well. So yeah, I'm assuming this is actually good, but again, we will test it. And yeah, if you are wondering more details about why I chose this, or if you're wondering about what other options that I considered, watch the Black Widow Mods Progress Update 2 video, which I made last week. I'll link it in the description below. I talk about that in more detail in that video. But yeah, that's it for this video. Unfortunately, I can't do anything else in this video without actually leveling the bed. And yeah, I should also talk about the manual bed leveling option. As you may remember from, actually I don't know, it's been quite a few videos, but I replaced the springs inside on my heat bed with some plastic spacers, basically, if you can remember. And because of that, I can't manually level my heat bed. And yeah, I could theoretically just put the springs back in there, but I looked for those springs and I really couldn't find them. I probably used them for something else. Like, it's been months since I did that upgrade, so I have no idea where those springs are. And yeah, because of lack of springs, I can't really do any manual bed leveling. So yeah, I need an automatic bed leveling sensor for sure. And yeah, That's basically preventing me from doing any more progress on the Black Widow, unfortunately. Hopefully the new sensor will arrive by the next video's time frame. I don't want to delay the video, and yeah, we'll see. It's been a week since I ordered it, so hopefully it won't take that much to arrive, and yeah, there isn't anything I can do, so yeah, I hope you still enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a like below, and thanks for watching.